On this episode of The Road Chose Me, I ride a camel in the Sahara Desert. To start off in Morocco, I drove into the beautiful city of Chefchaouen in the lower Atlas Mountains. This is a really famous city with an amazing market, and they've painted the whole thing blue. Some people say it keeps the temperature down, some say it keeps the scorpions and the mosquitoes away. I'm not really sure what the reason is, but it's beautiful either way. Of course, I got talked into buying a beautiful hand-woven Berber carpet. For years I've heard stories about the Atlas Mountains in Morocco, and I was super excited to get out of the cities and drive up into those mountains. The mountain towns I passed through were absolutely beautiful, and the people really friendly too. As you can see, driving here is kind of controlled chaos. It seems that cars and people share the road equally at all times. I intentionally drove on the smallest roads on my map, and they varied greatly. Sometimes the surface was really good tar and I could sit on 50 miles an hour. Other times it was broken pavement or all the way down to loose rocky gravel where I found myself in first gear thinking about four-wheel drive. I found a great spot to camp on the edge of a beautiful lake. With the old-growth forests and cold nights, it was beginning to feel a little bit like Canada or the Pacific Northwest. That is until I was woken up in the morning by a troop of monkeys wandering through camp. They climbed on the Jeep and tried to get in at every opportunity. There were about 30 of them, including a couple of little babies that were hitching rides on mums and dads. I saw them fight over babies a few times. I didn't quite know what was going on there. 2 mornings in a row I hung out with those guys and took photos. I could have stayed a month, but I've got to keep moving. Again, I drove the smallest roads I could find, and again the terrain varied greatly. It was an amazing time up in the mountains, but there was something in the south calling my name. The dunes of the Sahara Desert protrude right up into southern Morocco, so I traded the Jeep for a camel and rode off into the dunes for a night of camping. I figured my camel was actually the star of the show, so I tried as hard as I could to get him on camera. I don't think he liked it very much. As soon as we got to camp, I climbed up the biggest dune I could find to take some photos. I was amazed at how the sand moves like water. Every time you take a step, the sand rushes down to fill in the gap that you've just made with your foot. At times it felt like an avalanche would start, but it never really did. I guess the sand is on just the right angle that it wants to stay more or less where it is. After dinner, the Berber guides treated us to some local music. We stayed up late into the night listening to these guys laughing and singing, having such a great time. Morocco's been absolutely mind-blowing so far. I can't wait to see what's in store next.